And stepping on this topic because it does affect so many people flying across the country. With me now is Howard Levitt, employment and labor relations lawyer. Thanks so much for your time. The Labor Relations Board says this is an illegal strike. What does that mean for both sides?
Well, it means that potentially the CUPE officials could go to jail. What they would have to do is go to court now for an injunction relying on the order, relying on the contempt of the order, and they could levy fines immediately and much greater fines yet after the court makes an order of an injunction. Now, CUPE president went to jail in 1981 for defying an order to go back to work, so there's a precedent for this, even involving CUPE. And ultimately, this could be a Ronald Reagan moment. If they get a court injunction, they refuse to return to work, CUPE could then say, the Air Canada could then say to its members, to its employees, come back to work now, you're in an illegal strike, and then fire them if they refuse to. So there could be calamitous consequences for the workers themselves, ultimately, if Air Canada is prepared to play tough enough.
So what could it take to potentially get to that point where we are talking realistically about fines and even jail time, as the union was asked about this earlier today and said they have the resolve, they're ready to take it there. But what would it take to get to that point specifically?
Well, I would recommend Air Canada now go to court and get an injunction and then rely on that injunction. The other thing I would do if I were Air Canada is sue the union for its damages. Right now, it would successfully succeed in obtaining its damages, and those are the millions, probably tens of millions of dollars for its massive losses right now as a result of the illegal strike. And they would succeed in that case if they sued.
So for the two sides, specifically, what are the legal avenues available for CUPE and for Air Canada to either get the back-to-work order enforced or get back to the bargaining table and come up to some sort of resolution?
Both sides presumably want a face-saving exit, and that would imply getting back to the table sooner rather than later. And sometimes these machinations that we're seeing right now from both sides, the strong, resilient, almost contemptuous, in fact, indeed contemptuous responses by CUPE that we were there and we are not going to back down, is just meant as lobbying and projecting things for their membership so that Air Canada will take them back to the bargaining table and will make a higher offer than it was before. And for Air Canada, they've got what they need now. They've got the leverage, potentially fine, potentially jail members, and ultimately potentially even fire the employees if they don't. If this continues very much further, and Air Canada, in its case, goes and gets an injunction from the courts, which is the next step that it should take. But I think both sides are probably looking for an exit ramp because CUPE can't continue to contest this successfully. They can go to court, they can go to federal court and try and contest the minister's order, but they will lose. So if they're smart, and they're reasonably smart, they're looking to get back to bargaining, I suspect, sooner rather than later. But Air Canada should move quickly on its rights.
Howard Levitt is an employment and labor relations lawyer. He's joining us from Toronto. Howard, thanks so much for your time for CTV News Channel today.
My pleasure. Anytime. Thank you.